Welcome to the B'nai B'rith International Podcast. I'm your host, CEO Dan Mariaschin. We appreciate your spending some time with us today. Together with the Combat Anti-Semitism Movement, or CAM, we recently launched a creative video contest to engage high school and undergraduate university students around the world in the fight against anti-Semitism. On today's program, I'm joined by our own Program Director for Strategic Engagement, Sienna Girgenti, and CAM Director, Sacha Roytman-Dratwa, who have been the driving forces behind this competition. I'll be speaking with Sienna and Sacha about the contest and why CAM and B'nai B'rith's partnership is an important tool for inspiring a new generation of activists against the world's oldest form of hatred, anti-Semitism. We'll also dive into the importance of cultivating the next generation of leaders in the fight against anti-Semitism. Welcome to the program, Sienna. Welcome, Sacha.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
So let's jump right in. Before we start, Sacha, tell us about CAM. How did it get started, and what are the kinds of things that you're doing?
Yeah, thank you, Dan, and it's really a pleasure to working with the B'nai B'rith team, B'nai B'rith International team. So CAM was established in February 2019 as for goal to work together as different organizations with different faiths and different vision of the fight against anti-Semitism, because something is not working. We see the numbers growing, they are not changing, they're even going worse, but still we don't succeed in this fight. And more important than everything, in the history of anti-Semitism, it first, of hatred in the world, is first become always with the Jews. And if other religions don't get it and don't understand that it first begins with the Jews and then move on to other minorities, so it will not work. And we need them to understand that, to work with us and to be the driving force to fight anti-Semitism together. So this is why we build this mainly interfaith coalition of Muslim Christian partners to work together. So CAM is a coalition of 250 organizations that work together every day, but also a grassroots movement of more than 250,000 people that work with us. And we get these numbers by creating this kind of contest like we do today with B'nai B'rith International and other programs that we are launching. So rapidly, and just to say it very fast, CAM is a coalition, 250,000 partners and 250,000 people.
Sienna, tell us about the Students Speak Out creative video contest. How did the B'nai B'rith CAM partnership come about? And how did this specific idea for this competition develop?
Sure, Dan. Well, thanks again for hosting this podcast this morning. I think that for B'nai B'rith's part, our partnership with CAM is very strong, and we have been looking for an opportunity to partner together on a meaningful program. And this contest came about sort of born out of the Diverse Minds writing competition that B'nai B'rith had hosted previously, working with high school students and developing children's books on the theme of tolerance and diversity, and looking to kind of expand our portfolio in that realm. We developed this idea in partnership with CAM to go into both high schools and at the collegiate level with undergraduate university students and carry this message specific to anti-Semitism into those audiences so that they can help us drive the message home new and innovative ways with the next generation. And that is kind of the genesis of the program as a whole. It was, as we witness the world over anti-Semitism climbing worldwide, we really were challenged to think of new and innovative ways to approach this subject. So we're grateful to be working with CAM with this endeavor.
Innovative ways, I think that's kind of the key. Those are the key words here. I think it's important to mention, at this point that B'nai B'rith has been in this battle really almost from the very beginning. We were founded in 1843, and sad to say, nearly over 177 years, this problem persists and even into the 21st century. And so when we talk about innovative ways, we're talking about means that are available to us now that weren't in the past. And that gets to videos and the ability of of young people, I suppose, to be able to create these videos. Sacha, how are the two organizations working together on this? How will it work?
So I just want to add something to what Sienna said. I think that the challenge that we have today is to build a new culture of grassroots activism for new generation to be involved. We hear a lot, how we can be involved, how we can volunteer, and many organizations don't have the answers. And by providing this kind of platform, and the contest is just a platform for young generation to participate, to have their voice heard, this is the first step for us. And this is what we build with Bnei Brit International. It's a platform basically for young people to be active, and this is what we like. And we see the excitement by having these young people saying, yes, we want to do it, we want to participate, we want to use our iPhones or videos or computers to do some videos and to get involved in this fight. This is amazing for us, and this is how we build the next leader of tomorrow. But how we work together, we just identify the problems, we identify the audience that we want to target, and we offer a program. And this is how we look at it. The contest is a program that will be appealing to young people, will work, and then we just need to offer it on a platform, which is our website, to different groups, and everyone is invited to participate based on the audience that have been targeted and the people that will be offered to participate. But the real partnership with Bnei Brit and CAM is by identifying the problems and offering this activist solution to those that want to be involved in the fight against anti-Semitism.
Well, in that regard, Sienna, if I'm a 20-year-old, I'm going to be asking, what are the criteria for this contest? What are you looking for in these video submissions? And what would constitute, use the word quality, what would constitute a quality entry? And what are the prizes? Let's talk about each of those components.
We've targeted two different categories of submission. One focused first on the importance of the IRA, the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, and their working definition of anti-Semitism. So working to convey that definition and its significance, and why we as Bnei Brit International, and why CAM and we as a Jewish community are fighting for a universal definition of anti-Semitism. So that's one element. The second being kind of more depictions of what modern manifestations of anti-Semitism look like. For example, anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism, how these kind of newer modes of anti-Semitism creep into society today. So those two categories are open for submissions for both high school students in one category and then undergraduate university students in another. And they'll be judged based on their ability to really address those issues head on, how it is best conveyed in a way that is universally understood by a very diverse audience. So we're not, our intention isn't to have these videos created for an exclusively Jewish audience. We want these videos to be able to reach far and wide. And so we'll be looking for that as well. And our adjudication process, will be bringing together a team of expert judges to help in the selection process. And there's up to a $5,000 prize for each category and each academic cohort. So it's really an exciting opportunity here. And just in addition to what Sacha has already mentioned, I think one of the strengths for both of our organizations, CAM and its nearly 250 partner organizations around the world, and Bnei Brit with our leaders worldwide, we really have an opportunity to get this in front of very diverse audiences. And so very much looking forward to see what comes in.
Now, one question on that. Now we're doing this program during the coronavirus crisis. Some schools are opening in the fall, some are not. Some are not sure. Same with the public schools. Talking about universities. Same with the public schools. Normally, in past years, you would have in every classroom building, there would be a poster or of some kind on the bulletin board, in addition to getting the word out in other ways, on the assumption that many university students are not going to see this because they may not be in school or in the next few months. You will be carrying out the publicity about this solely on social media platforms, correct?
Yes. So basically, because of the COVID-19, even more than ever, people are online, on social media, they are checking their emails, and they're at home. So I think that there is a great opportunity to have people also involved, but not just in their general environment, but also from their environment outside of schools. And I think it's a great opportunity for people that would like to get involved to do something, but in a different environment that usually they need to do it in college with different groups. Now they can do it from home. They can build different types of groups to get involved. So I think that really the social media outreach and spreading of information is our main tool. But also with many partners of Brave International, of the CAM Coalition, that will be joining by spreading the words out, by engaging with their own members and offering them to participate. So it will be a venture online, but also offline, by having many of the partners organizations that working with, and hopefully internationally also to join and to have the members to participate.
As a high school student and as a young child, we heard around the dinner table discussion about anti-Semitism. We talked about it a lot. There weren't the opportunities that we have available to us today. But young people today, because of the internet, have this tremendous amount of constant inputs of information, which is available if they seek it out, and it's endless. So, Sienna, tell us why specifically reach out to high school and university students. What can they bring to this particular part of the fight against anti-Semitism?
Well, I think, we see on, especially on college campuses around the world today, an incredible rise in anti-Semitism in a way that other generations haven't necessarily needed to face, be it the campaign for BDS on campuses, another kind of academic, inroads that are happening through that movement and otherwise. So, we think that students really have their fingers on the pulse of what this scourge is on campuses for the next generation, and really are the best people and most adept to address it. And really, to Sacha's point earlier, we want to lift up students who are going to be the future of this fight and empower people to take this fight into their own hands and make it their own. And so that is the approach with high school and college age students, really for them to make this issue a top priority for them and for their peers, and hopefully shift the tide going forward.
Yeah, it's a big challenge because we know that many students, as is true in my generation and true of the current generation, come to campus, just leaving high school students aside for a second. They come to campus, more or less, many have not experienced anti-Semitism, some have, or when it comes to Israel, because so much of campus anti-Semitism is anti-Israel based. If they've been in a youth group, perhaps in high school, they've had some experience in terms of relating to Israel, some have not. So they come to campus, in some cases, tabula rasa, and then oftentimes face this avalanche of anti-Semitism. Again, much of it based on anti-Israel activity. So I think it's important to get the high school students involved before they get to campus, and this is one way to do this. And then on campus, this is one way to reach out and to fight back. Sacha, do you think this contest will inspire a new generation of activists in the fight against this old hatred? And I would say that, what's important here is that this contest is not just for Jewish applicants. It's for everyone. It's important for everyone to be involved in this fight. Tell us how you see the experience of the applicants, and especially those who are successful. How do you see them becoming engaged in the fight against anti-Semitism?
Yes. So then the platform of the contest is a unique way to offer people that are interested in being involved to be involved. By just joining the contest, you will not just produce a video, but you will also see your videos featured in many places, like Sienna explained, and your voice will be heard. And if you have something to say and you want to participate, so I think that this will be an amazing opportunity for anyone that wants to participate. But also, as it was said, we're not doing just that for having the Jewish people to participate and Jewish voice to be heard, but the problem of anti-Semitism is global and touch everyone in the society. So this is why we're also expecting a lot of non-Jews to participate, to producing videos, to use the time of the COVID-19 that I stay home and to do some very nice and creative work that will be then featured everywhere. So yes, it's the first step for activism by producing a video, but it's not just a video, it's spreading messaging out, it's getting your voice heard, and then it's also getting engaged in the fight of anti-Semitism. And it's the first step. We have a lot of more programs. Also at Bnei Brit, you have other programs that you can offer these people to join and to continue. So it's the first step that we're supporting and we're engaging, and we also offering to everyone.
Yeah, and offering to everyone, I think, that's the key to all of this. Really, having allies. Some of them we can recognize, some of them we can't. They're out there. We have some good friends. We're essentially a small community globally. And to succeed in this fight, we do need friends and allies. And this is one way of bringing in people who are interested in engaging in this battle, and also who are creative and who themselves can contribute in a very positive and very serious way. So I'm glad that this is being broadcast widely in terms of trying to bring in applicants. And I think that we will be bringing on some new folks who will join us in the battle. Sienna, what will we be doing with the winning entries? And more specifically, how will we use them to amplify our message that we must actively combat anti-Semitism and all forms of hatred, and not just promote understanding? How will it work?
So that's a great question, Dan. I think first and foremost, CAM and Bnei Brit have planned to host a virtual awards ceremony at the culmination of this contest, where we will bring together the winning submissions, hopefully, we expect from all around the world, which is going to be the premiere, really, of what we expect to be really powerful tools in the fight to combat anti-Semitism. For Bnei Brit's part, we hope to carry this message forward in all of the avenues that we pursue in combating anti-Semitism, be that before the UN, other multilateral institutions, with our partners around the country and around the world, and really use the videos as a tool to not only reach the next generation through this creative messaging, but also engage them in the work, show them what they can do, how they can get involved, and hopefully carry the contest forward in that way.
Do you see these entries possibly being used, if they're short enough, as public service spots on television? Is that one possible use of these winning entries?
I think the sky's the limit. We certainly designed the contests so that they are short films, and that they can be used as sound bites, and they can be used to hit messaging on social media in ways that a traditional message or post might not. And so we definitely hope to amplify that message across all of our platforms, both from Bnei Brit's part and CAM, but absolutely entering those videos into new spheres, be that traditional media and PSAs, if the opportunity presents, we'll absolutely pursue that.
Sacha, I'd like to just go back to CAM for a minute, because you're doing some interesting work, and I was privileged to have been a viewer of a program that you did not too long ago on Muslim-Jewish relations. Tell us a little about that, because it's I think, an exciting initiative and something which all of us should take note of.
Yes, thank you, Dan, for mentioning it. Also, for me, it was on a personal level, as a Jewish professional, as working in the Jewish world, a unique moment in my career that I was able to try really to push forward this relationship between the Jewish world and the Muslim world. I think that is critical for us to understand that we are a tiny nation, we are a tiny people, and we have a common history between the Jewish people and the Muslim world. So I think that if we can reconnect the past and work together to build a better future, so I'm sure we can make this world a better place for everyone. And in the past year, we have the new Secretary General of the Muslim World League, the Sheikh Dr. Mohammed Alissa, who has been a unique voice in the Muslim world, a unique voice against hatred, all forms of hatred, but also against Holocaust denial, speaking very hard against anti-Semitism and pushing for better relationship between Jews and Muslims. And I think that his voice should be recognized. And this is what we did at this first ever Combat Anti-Semitism Award that was given to a Muslim leader. We honor the work that he does, hoping that other Muslim voice will hear his messaging, will hear his voice, and will follow the lead by building better bonds, better links, better bridge between these two nations, because we have a lot in common, and we shouldn't forget it. Even if we see today the gaps, we see the walls, but we don't see what put us together for so many years. And if you look at the Jewish presence in Israel, it's forever, but it's also forever with the Muslim presence in Israel. And I think that this is something that is connecting between us. And also you have Jews from Arab lands, from Morocco to Iraq and different places. And these are things that we're never going to forget. So we need to work about the things that put us in common and not that differentiates between us. So this is what we try to do. And hopefully we're going to inspire other Muslim leaders to join the fight.
Just want to go back to the subject as an adjunct to the contest. The definition of anti-Semitism, the working definition of anti-Semitism, which was adopted by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, which is this coalition of countries that has pledged to engage in Holocaust education, Holocaust remembrance programs. How much do you think the now growing acceptance of this working definition of anti-Semitism as promulgated by IRA, as the organization is called, how much of an impact do you see this having globally on not only on initiatives like the one we're talking about, the video contest, but generally speaking? Sienna, you first.
Well, I think the IRA definition is an important first step in getting everybody on the same page about what we're talking about. Without a universal definition, it's very easy for both private and public enterprise to claim innocence and say, no, that's not anti-Semitism. And when you have it in black and white, it is a tool for, be it a working definition or not, it becomes a tool for state and private actors to lean on for the purposes of combating anti-Semitism in ways that they can address it head on and really use as a measuring stick for experiences or basically when anti-Semitism arises in those networks.
Well, this is, it's really an exciting opportunity to engage the next generation of leaders. The contest is, I think it's an exciting opportunity to bring in young people. As we said earlier, the idea that you can see all of this happening around you and actually do something about it is extremely important. So there are all kinds of good reasons for having this contest. And I hope that this will lead to other projects jointly between CAM and B'nai B'rith. So Sienna, Sacha, thank you both for joining us. The contest is called Students Speak Out Against Anti-Semitism, a creative video production contest. More information can be found on our website. Thank you to Sienna Girgenti and Sacha Roytman-Dratwa for joining me today, and thank you for tuning in. If you like what you've heard, make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to visit our website, bnaibrith.org, to learn about the contest. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For my guests, Sienna Girgenti and Sacha Roytman-Dratwa, I'm your host, Dan Mariaschin. See you again soon.